Lately, I've been doing a little reflecting. These past couple of months have been very interesting for Tekken 8, but also for the Moonsault Slayer. I've made a bunch of bad videos, deleted a couple, but also I had this love-hate relationship with Tekken 8, even though my character is one of the most busted characters in all of the game. And a lot of people sit back and think, how is that possible? How can a Yoshi main not like the current state of the game? And I would make all of these different excuses as to why the game sucks and why I don't like it and this and that. And oh, if they change this, then I'll be happier and I will be this and that, right? Um, and I think that's not necessarily true. And over the past, so I want to say like July, August is me like being on this delusional rampage. And then the month of October really was like me. The best way I could say it is like being humbled. You guys know I went into ranked and I got demoted and then I got my rank back and then I got demoted again and I'm currently trying to get the rank back. I haven't been in rank for like probably like a week now, so I kind of been like chilling, but I do want the Tekken God rank back. But one thing that was very interesting, so before that whole journey, right, a lot of people were saying that I'm carried by Yoshi, right? And of course, my gut instinct reaction to say no, I'm not carried by Yoshi. And even though I think like you can't truly be carried by Yoshi, like you probably can reach. Okay, and I know this is when people in the comment section is like, here we go, downplaying the game, but I'm just trying to like give you guys a deeper look into my mind and how I've been progressing and evolving as Tekken 8's been going on and being chaotic, right? So I'm not trying to downplay. I'm just trying to tell you what I think and how I'm trying to improve. So the reason why I think that Yoshimitsu can't carry a individual is because he has the highest move count in the game. The only person who's above him is King, and a big chunk of that is grabs. So in my mind, I think like, how can someone be carried when they have to sit down and learn the entirety, like the biggest move set in the game? And the thing that was always tricky about Yoshimitsu is that, it's not that his moves is super technical to do, right? It's not a just frame skyrocket. It's not a taunt upper. It's not an electric, right? His inputs is pretty easy, and in Tekken 8 they made it easier, right? The hard part about Yoshimitsu is remembering setups, learning different patterns and flowcharts, and always staying unpredictable. But with Tekken 8 Yoshimitsu, he is so much stronger, so much more streamlined, and you really don't need that 182 moves or whatever he has to get very far. You can't get very far from just. I like Fighting GM's video where he was talking about my gameplay. He described it as hood Tekken, right? Like you just fill out the match and you just go with the flow. You could be very good. I think you could do very well with Yoshimitsu once you understand how his moves operate and which moves do what. No matter how long that takes, let's just assume it does take longer than every other character, right? Once you do that, I think you can get very far with just filling out your opponent. Hop knee, flash, poison breath, low unblockable, hell sweeps. Like this is the kind of stuff that I do to get very, very far. Down back three spam at the wall. And that's just kind of how I play Tekken ever since the start. But over this past couple of months, right? Everyone's saying like, "Oh, you're carried by Yoshimitsu. You're carried by Yoshimitsu," and like I said, my gut instinct was just to reject it. But now I'm thinking like maybe that is true. Maybe I am carried by Yoshimitsu, and how does that make me feel? What is my thoughts accepting that truth? A lot of people say that I suck at breaking throws, which is true. I can't punish, which is true. My movements suck, which is true. And to each one of those topics, breaking throws is very difficult to do. No matter how much I try to look at the hands and which hands is in front, I just can't do it. The thing is, I can react to the throw. Like if someone tries to grab me, I will be pressing a button to break free, but I just can't look at the hands to see which button. And when you're talking about like, because there is okay, you guys have to correct me in the comment section, but I think there's like other characters who have throws that's not necessarily a 1+2, but it looks like a 1+2 because both hands is coming at you. And you have weird things like when Yoshimitsu does the one-handed grab where he still like there's like weird things like that where like I don't know what to do in those situations. So at that point I'm just button mashing either 2, 1, or 1+2, right? And hoping that is the correct answer. But throw breaks is something that I don't think I'll be able to do. My eyes are just not quick enough. But punishment is something that I definitely want to get better at because, you know, everyone says like, oh, his punishment sucks, right? And I'm like, yeah, my punishment do suck. But how much better of a player would I be if I started punishing things, right? And watching Fighting GM's video made me realize that, like, you know, bro was watching my gameplay and he was like sick to his stomach. He was like, yeah, I can't watch no more of this. This is crazy. This guy's just run. Now, to be fair, in that stream that he was watching, it was a stream of me like playing very chaotic, me just trolling, you know, like that's really why I don't play ranked on stream, is because like I tend to play for clips instead of for the victory, right? So usually when I play on stream, it's either player match or it's against people who's watching, right? But when I play offline, like when I play off stream, I play better, but still my punishment isn't nowhere near what it should be. And you know, basically, I just want to go on this self journey to see, you know, if I try to get better at punishing, how far can I truly push it? And also, too, is like, is there this point where I can reach where I'm no longer carried by Yoshimitsu? So here's the thing, right? So everyone was saying like, oh, you're carried by Yoshimitsu, right? And then that's when I started this meme where like, you know, I don't play Yoshimitsu, I play Steve Fox, right? And Yoshimitsu is just my pocket character. And I do want to learn Steve Fox. I do want to get better with him. I used to play him back in Tekken Tournament too. I played a lot of characters back in the day, but I want to get better at using him. And because I think, you know, Yoshimitsu can teach you a lot of bad habits. Once again, that's what Buff Guy was saying in the YouTube comments. It's like there's many characters in the game who will teach you bad habits. And I think a lot of good Yoshis have pocket picks who helps them, you know, win their other aspects. Like, for example, iMusician plays Alyssa and Leo as well, right? And I specifically remember iMusician saying Leo helps him play Tekken and understand Tekken. So when he does go into a tournament as a Yoshi main, he has like that more rounded gameplay, right? So I want to do that with Steve Fox, play more of him and really try to understand what that character is, and maybe that can amplify what I'm doing with Yoshimitsu. What I also will say, okay, so I tackled throw breaks, I tackled punishing, and then the final thing is movement, right? A lot of people say your movement sucks. Some people know, but not that many people know. But I play Tekken on the analog stick. When I first showed up with to Tekken, every game prior I played analog stick. So when I showed up to Tekken, it was like a no-brainer. Like, you know, you play analog, keep playing analog. And there was nothing in the game that told me that the D-pad was superior. So Tekken Tag Tournament 2 is when I really locked in, right? And tournaments was basically irrelevant. So I had no clue that going down the path of playing analog stick was the worst way to go. And I played analog stick for about 6-7 years until Tekken 7 came out and I started watching tournaments, and I realized that one, you know, console controllers wasn't the best thing. I didn't even know that. But then two, that was when I learned that D-pad was better. And then three, that's when I learned like all of these different terms about punishing, about frame data, about like lab to matchup. That's one thing. Like a lot of people say, oh, Moonsault, you suck, right? But I think I am a product of Harada's vision. And what I mean by that is that for a very long time, Harada did not want to put frame data in the game because he felt like that gives away the secrets, right? He wanted players to literally like go into Tekken and just try to figure it out, fill out the match, and just play like, you know, figuring it out. And that's really what I did. But what Harada realized, and what is true, is that the players who don't know about all of these different frame datas and all this stuff, right, they will be at a significant advantage. While they're playing to fill out the game, there's a lot of people who are playing like with all of this frame data and punishing, and they're really tapped in to the Tekken scene, and they just have a significant advantage. And that's why he eventually brought frame data into the game, because basically he saw that the gap was increasing, right? When you talk about teaching people how to play Tekken, you need to give them frame data. You need to add punishment training into the game. You need to give them all of these tools so that they, whether you want to ruin the secrets of the game or not, you have to realize that people are falling behind. And I think I'm the perfect example of that. I gotten so good at just playing on the fly, and I ignore the fundamentals, right? That's what 5GM was saying. Like, my fundamentals is trash. And I would add to that and say, the reason why I'm so high rank is because there's a lot of people who play just like me. There's a lot of people who ignore the frames, who ignore punishment training, who ignore the fundamentals. And I would say there's a lot of people who are just filling out the matches, right? Because I go up against a lot of people who don't punish things that I'm doing. Down back three, you can low parry that, you can launch punish it, the slide. I was watching another content creator who was reacting to one of my Yoshi videos, and bro was saying that, like, this guy Moonsault Slayer does the King Cha 3 slide over and over and over again, and no one ever punishes it, right? So I do think there's a lot of people on Tekken who just been filling out the matches for a very long time. And when you talk about the skill level, I think I'm just like a better player than most at filling out the match. And as long as the majority of the player base plays like that, I think that I will be better than everyone, right? But as more people start to learn about frame data, and as more people start to learn about punishing and all of these different techniques, I think we will see a shift, right? And I want to be a part of that shift. I want to shift with the knowledge and the learning, and I don't want to just make all of these excuses, right? I do think, like, the individual player has to want to learn more and be open to learning more, but it's also on the game to teach people. Like, one thing that I always talk about, right? I find it so interesting. Eris said, if you don't know how to Korean backdash, you basically don't know how to play Tekken, right? That's how important movement is to the game. But here's the thing, right? Show me one screenshot of the game itself saying the word Korean backdash, right? This thing is so important. It's so integral. And I don't even think Tekken 8 says it. I don't even think Tekken 8 like tells a Kazuya player how to wave dash, or a whoever to how to Korean backdash, right? So there's a lot of these very important things that is essential to Tekken that the game completely ignores. Wave dashing, Korean backdashing, punishment and frame data until Tekken 7. So I don't know. I see like what everyone say about my gameplay, and it is true. But I do want to like start to try to get better, because it's put it like this. I was thinking about Dragon Ball Z, right? They already achieved so much, but when they really hit the lab, they really hit the hyperbolic time chamber, they came out stronger and better. So what I want to do from like now until I don't know how long, season 2 or something, I just want to like work on punishment, and maybe try to work on throw breaking as well. I don't know how much progress I'll make there, but I really want to focus on punishment for all characters and see how I evolve as a player in season 2.